Welcome. Coming back to the next edition of International Relations Expected Questions. The first is India's relation with Ukraine. In the last class, we discussed about India and Russia relationships. So here, one of the major initiatives is the BHIMSH Cubes, which is the Bharat Health Initiative for Sanyog, Hita and Maitri Cubes, which is an innovative portable hospital to be delivered during the time of emergencies for medical aids. Also, there is another initiative which has been given, but this BIMSH initiative is under the Arogya Maitri initiative. Also, we focus on providing food security, so ensuring that the global food security is being met. Cooperation and upholding the UN Charter and principles of international law have been important. Now, PM's visit to Ukraine has been recently done, and it has been an initiative to have a mediation effort against to address the Ukraine crisis while ensuring that India's global credibility remains at par. So, Ukraine is significant for India in terms of providing fertilizers to India, supplier of sunflower oil. India mainly exports pharma, machine, chemicals, and food products. And then there is a kind of expanded role or support of Ukraine to India for the UNSC position, seeking for India's permanent position in the UN Security Council. Also, there are certain challenges which are mainly in the field that when we have seen that India's export to Ukraine has declined by 22%, the Ukraine's export for India has again declined by 17%. There have been issues for global food security because India can contribute to global food security by uninterrupted supply of food and agriculture the agricultural products that could be given to the other nations. The next is para-diplomacy. Now, Ministry of External Affairs has criticized the Kerala government to appoint the External Cooperation Office official. Now, this has talked about the issues which are in the form of encroachment of on the union list. Now, the Constitution of India under the 7th schedule, item 10 talks about foreign affairs and matters that connect the union with any foreign countries are exclusively under the domain of union government. State cannot have a say in it. So the 7th schedule, the matters under 7th schedule, the article 253 which talks about parliament making laws to implement the international treaties, and 293 talking that states cannot borrow from abroad have been important. So para-diplomacy is basically a foreign policy capability of a subnational government, and therefore it is also called as the state diplomacy, continent, regional or subnational diplomacy, and it allows the sub-nation or the federal units to have international activism on their own, which had any kind of traditional relationship with the other nations. So this was in news with the Kerala's deal, and also a huge diaspora of Kerala being residing in Gulf nations, facilitating exchange programs, attracting FDI in the region. The next important topic that we would talk about is the South Sea China tensions. Now, the South China Sea, we have already covered in depth in separate video, has been really important in the recent time. And recently, China has urged Malaysia to cease any kind of oil activities in the Sarawak region, in the coast of Sarawak, which also has been a major issue for Malaysia. Malaysia has been seeking help from India over the years, and the strategic geographical location of the South China Sea has been affecting the neighboring states of Vietnam, Philippines, Borneo, and there are numerous island groups which are uninhabitable, and these regions have become one of the major the vessel stations or the marine stations for China over the years. There has been in 2016 a permanent court of arbitration rule in favor of Philippines, declaring the China's 9-dash line having no legal basis. However, this South China Sea is very, very crucial for the global trade, accounting for 1/3 of the total maritime trade passing through the region. Also important for the fishery security purpose. The next is Securities of Supplies Arrangement, SOSA. Now, this is a memorandum of understanding between the assignment of the liaison officer. The Security of Supplies Agreement enhance the defense potentials in the time of emergency armed conflict. So there was the act which was in 2002 under the Security of Military Information, then the Logistic Exchange 2016, Communication Compatibility and Security 2018, the Basic Exchange and Cooperation 2020. The MOU on the assignment of liaison officer has been established for better information sharing between India and US. So India-US achieved various milestones since the formalized 2015 establishment of the framework of US-India defense relationship. Also, there was one of the major inaugural meetings which was done in 2008, and then the ISET, which is the initiative, the US-India initiative on critical and emerging technologies under the Indus-X program has been important. There has been a significant development in the defense cooperation between India and US under the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, which has talked about that India has traditionally relied on Russia for 65% of the weapons, accounting for $60 billion in the past 2 years. Also, we are trying to have a foundation agreement between India and US for intelligence and defense capabilities, military exercises such as Malabar. India hosted in 2024 from Australia, Japan and US to have better military interpolability. The next one that we would discuss is the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative. Now, this is a 5th year of operation between the nations, focusing on reduction of disaster, security and ecology in the maritime region, talking about the resources, trade and connectivity and transport. Now, the next one that we would talk about here is bringing in sustainable development, and major pillar of maritime security talks about maintaining peace in the Indo-Pacific maritime area, focusing on critical minerals, cobalt, lithium, nickel, rare earth minerals, tellurium, neodymium, etc. Right? Now, the next one is the Tapi gas line project. Now, this is a project which is, it's not the Tapi River, it's the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India gas pipeline project on the side of Turkmenistan. Afghanistan has also talked about the construction of the pipeline. So, completing the project, making through the finances, the geopolitical tensions and security has been important. So, this concept started back in 1990s to start and bring the natural gas from the Galvish gas field in Turkmenistan. Now, this was discovered in 2006. It ranks among one of the 5 largest gas fields, and then this field contains 300 million tons of oil, and the pipeline stretches through Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan and India. The project would actually help India to counter the rising China's influence in the region. The next is India-China on the line of actual control. Now, this situation has been in news regarding economic concerns, water power, the China-Pakistan axis, the string of pearls and the freedom in navigation in the Indian Ocean region. So there have been numerous updates about the patrolling in the region. The eastern areas of Ladakh such as Galwan, Hot Springs, Gogra and in the north-south banks of the Pyeongso has been the completion of the work has been done in this region. There has been 3 important steps in the process. First is disengagement, de-escalation and de-induction of the troops in the Indo-China border. There was a standoff in 2020 and then we have been constantly focusing on the border dispute, the middle sector, eastern sector and the steps for resolution. This would be available in the handout, so you can refer that. The relationship with Maldives, again, India started the first bilateral state to have visit to Maldives after the election was won. So, focusing on the Gujarat Doctrine, enhanced financial aid, security and better perception management, there has been a comprehensive economic and maritime security project. Also, an initiative which is known as the Greater Malay Connectivity Project has been started. Digital and financial initiatives like launch of RuPay card in the Maldives has started. So Maldives also holds a very important significance because Maldives is a toll gate between the choke points in the Western Ocean and in the Eastern Ocean, Strait of Malacca. So it provides the freedom for the navigation, but at the same time ensures security and stability in the region. Now India has become the Maldives' largest trade partner, reaching nearly $1 billion. Also, there have been deals for defense on terrorism, piracy, and drug trafficking in the region. The next one that we would see here is the India-Canada relationship. Now, India-Canada relationship were under a turmoil recently, but India has strong ties as there is a huge people-to-people diaspora in Canada. Trade and investment, education, science and technology, but bringing in diplomatic immunity is the principle of international law, which has been given under the Vienna Convention, which says that foreign government officials are exempt from jurisdiction of local courts and authorities for both the offices and the personal actions. So there has been a decline in the recent when there has been the issue of Khalistani extremists resulting in a diplomatic fallout, we could say. But if we look overall, there has been relationships across various issues ranging from military, defense, and education infrastructure in the regions of India and Canada. The next is ASEAN. Now, Prime Minister took part in the 21st ASEAN India Summit, which was held at Laos. Now, this was a very, very important one because it talked about the economic cooperation and regional stability. The members of the ASEAN have been mentioned here. Now, ASEAN was founded in 1967 in Bangkok, and there were five founding members at that time: Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. However, as of now, there are 10 members. Headquarters is in Jakarta. There is a coordinating council, a regional forum, which actually promotes the issues of political and security. Then there is the recent summit developments which have taken place, focusing on the digital infrastructure, talking about the diplomatic relationship between the nations. Another important summit is the BRICS Summit. BRICS Summit was recently held in Kazan in Russia to strengthen the multilateral relationships for just global development and security. Now, the 25th, 2025 would be held in Brazil. The major issues were around politics, security, culture, economic and social finances. Now, focusing on the next important one was the India and Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. So as we said in the previous lecture as well, this has been very, very important. There has been partial sea route followed by land route followed by another sea route. But once implemented, this would have India's strong relationship not only with the Middle East but also with the Eastern and the Central Europe. And this has been important because the string of pearls and the Silk Route has been with those, China has been trying to have a strong control over or a strong trade with the European nations. Now, some of the major sectors in which India has been moving forward with West Asia is clean energy, undersea fiber optics, pipelines, energy grids, clean energy transport, and then virtual trade corridor. Coming on to the next one is the Group of 20 Summit, which is the G20. So the 18th G20 Summit took place in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, talking about building a just world and a sustainable planet. The summit had a significant step because for the first time, African Union was its member and Brazil hosted the event, making it the third nation from the global south after Indonesia in 2022, India in 2023. This was another important thing that has been taken into account. So together, the G20 Trioca, Brazil, India and South Africa have been aligning for the memberships in IBSA and BRICS coalition. So again, developments under BRICS have been important. The next one is the India-Australia relationship, focusing on trade, economy, cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region and addressing the issues of extremism. So there is few important highlights of the summit which focus around renewable energy, business exchange, the AIBX program, talking about renewal of defense and security, and then strengthening the bilateral trade relationships in the field of green energy, solar task force. Then we have projects like mutual logistics supports, air-to-air refueling agreement, Austra Hind, Austra Index projects, and then the platforms like G20, Indian Ocean Rim Association, where the countries have been collaborating deeply. The next is India's relationship with Germany. So German Chancellor visited India to strengthen the relation, and 2024 marks 25 years of partnership that started between India and Germany. Now, this mainly focuses on innovation, technology, renewable energy, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and healthcare and pharma. So there have been numerous budgetary allowances for the same. The WISER program for fostering innovation in women in science and engineering. Then there has been alignment with the International Solar Alliance program. There are four important issues around which there has been changes: focus, flow, clarity, and conciseness for a concise flow between the two nations. The next one is India-Italy relationships. Now, again, under the G20 summit, we had a bilateral meeting with Italy, talking mainly about technology and clean energy. And when we are trying to improve our relationships with Middle East and East Europe Economic Corridor under the IMEC, this becomes important. In the field of science and technology, digitization and artificial intelligence programs with Italy, collaboration of ISRO and Italian Space Agency focusing on Earth observations, heliophysics have been important. And then there are tech summits which mainly deal with Biofuel Alliance, International Solar Alliance. There has been defense meetings for defense relationship between these nations. Also, we talk about India's relationship with Spain, so another country from Europe. Now here we are trying to have advanced systems for Airbus, Spain being jointly inaugurating the C295 aircraft final assembly line in Vadodara, where 40 aircrafts would be produced locally with the help of Spain. Now, there is also investments under the fast track mechanism for promotion of industries with Spain. Consular relations expanding with Spain consulate being opened in Bangalore, India's consulate being opened in Barcelona. There has been exchange of cultural programs with Spain. Establishment of diplomatic relationship, and also backing India's inclusion in the Missile Technology Control Regime, the MTCR. The next is the first trilateral power transaction. Now this was from Nepal to Bangladesh via the Indian grid and was inaugurated under the NTPC Vidyut Vyapar Nigam, Nepal Electricity Authority and Bangladesh Power Development Board to export 40 megawatts of electricity from Nepal to Bangladesh through India, and this was to strengthen the ties between the nations. The next is a framework which was signed between US, Japan, South Korea for digital infrastructure growth under the Digi framework to strengthen the digital infrastructure and digital relationships for cybersecurity, digital infrastructure, skill development, supply chain resilience. The next is under the digital public infrastructure, India has become the first country to have all the three foundational digital public infrastructures through India Stack, which has identification for Aadhaar, UPI and data sharing under the data empowerment and protection architecture. So these have been very, very important. The next is ASEAN's Defense Minister Meeting Plus. Now this was again held in Laos. The idea was to enhance the security and defense, bring in more peace, to focus on the counter-terrorism, humanitarian assistance, military medicine and humanitarian mine action in the region. So those were some of the important topics that we have discussed under international relations. In the next section, we'll come up with science and technology. So till then, stay tuned, do subscribe. Thanks for joining in.